welcome back to another episode of No Junk January. So we're going strong. So far we've had one off-plan meal which was structured, which was allowed, and we've totaled it into you know what we're allowed to cheat on. I guess I don't like calling them cheats when they're structured, but we're doing well so far. And in this episode, because we're very limited on what we can do, and I'm not going to share what I am doing and not doing in terms of lockdown rules and stuff like that. Those closest to me know what's going on in my life right now. However, what I am going to do is share with the mass population in this video, sort of help you out with how you can get a workout program on the go at home with limited equipment. Now, I'll do a couple of examples. I'll do how you can work out based on a £50 program, how you can work out based on a £200 program, and I'll probably put it up to £500 if someone watching this video is going to look at this scenario and go, look, this could potentially happen again later on down the line, so I'm going to equip my house out with £500 worth of stuff, £250 worth of stuff, or £50 worth of stuff, and I will show you guys where you can buy it from, how much it's going to cost. We'll total it up together so it's completely idiot proof and you can have some sort of structured workout program based off of that. So as soon as I'm home, I will get on the camera and I will show you some of the things you can purchase. Okay, so because there's going to be a lot of content covered in this video, I'm going to get straight into it here and try to make it as short as possible because it could potentially be a long video. So £50 budget. We're going to go straight in on the £50 budget. Now, it's not a lot to spend, but you'll be very surprised on how much you can do on a £50 budget. Now, this is going to go along with knowing what you are doing with the equipment that you're going to buy. So there's no point in buying a pair of dumbbells and not knowing what you can do with them. So I'll show you my Instagram, which you can click on the link in my bio and you'll be able to find tutorials on how to use these things. Now, I did mention a dumbbell just now, but I don't think on a £50 budget that dumbbells are the smartest of moves, because you're limited on some of the things that you can do with a pair of dumbbells. For example, if you end up buying 12 kilo dumbbells, but you can squat 30 kilo dumbbells, you're not going to get anywhere near the stress levels that you need. So for that reason, number one on the £50 budget list is going to be a set of resistance band. Now, I'm going to go straight over to eBay and see what we can pick up. No, actually, let's go for Amazon. Amazon tends to be a little bit better for resistance bands. So type in resistance bands and we'll see what we're going to get. Straight away, anyone that doesn't know what they're looking for will see three different types of bands. So we've got bands with handles here, these resistance bands here. That's actually a booty band. They should be called booty bands, and that's very similar. You will find another type which is here. No, not there, sorry. If we scroll a little bit, the other type is here. Now, I wouldn't personally recommend them because they're a little bit expensive. What I like to get on a £50 budget is going to be this sort of thing here, but I think we can get a better price. Let's type in with handles. I think we'll get a better price than 35 quid. So you've got some £24.99. That seems very reasonable. So does this one here. Yeah, this one's great. So I'm going to note down how much these things are going to cost. So instantly there, we'll call that 20 quid. £20 for your resistance bands. And you've got, you can see on screen there, you've got the difference in weights. So obviously some are heavier than others. What you're going to be able to do with these is multi-joint exercises, isolation exercises, compound exercises, but it's not going to be as heavy. So you've got to be quite clever with what you do with these. I'm not going to get into detail with it, but you can go onto my Instagram page, which I'm going to put up in the corner just there, what my name is. And if you click on the link in the bio, there's a link that says, I think it says free resistance band workouts. And if you click on that link, it will just take you to a YouTube playlist of mine where each individual video is demonstrating and talking to you, telling you how to do each exercise, and some of them are 15 seconds long, some of them are a minute long. I don't fanny around with them, I just tell you how you do it, what you do, why you're doing it. So first up, one pair of resistance bands, £20. The next thing that I'll try to look for here is going to be a pull-up bar. And you might be thinking, Danny, I don't know how to do pull-ups, which is very reasonable. However, you can use the resistance bands to add assistance. You can buy a pull-up band to add greater resistance to help pull you up, basically like an assisted pull-up machine in the gym. What you can also do is attach those resistance bar up to where the pull-up bar is going to hang at the back of the door to be able to do your certain pull-down movements, which you might not be able to do otherwise in the house unless you go outside to like a drain and hook it on a drain. So great for that. So sort of prices that we're going to be playing with are £27. That's expensive. Now, no, I don't want to be paying this much for a standard pull-up bar, to be honest. So I'm going to run away from Amazon. I'm going to open a new tab here and I'm going to go to Gumtree. Now, Gumtree, it's obviously dependent on your location, but you might not find something that I find for this price. So if that's the case, I'd go onto eBay and try and buy a second-hand pull-up bar, because there's literally no reason to get like a brand new pull-up bar. It does the job, you know. There we go, pull-up bar. There's a chin-up bar there. It doesn't look great. That's one that you're going to attach to a wall. That's going to be 40 quid. Let's try a door pull-up bar. And see what comes up there. Okay, so there's not many near me, but the first one we can find is 6 miles away from me, and they're selling at 15 quid. I personally, no, it's not 15 quid's the retail price, and they're selling it for 6 quid. So that will go in the door. It's not the ideal one that I would get. However, it's workable. But that's cheap anyway, so £6. I'm going to put this down for £10 because the one you're going to want to find is not necessarily a complete straight bar like that. I prefer the ones that hook around the door, but there's none in my area. Let me see if I can pull that up on eBay. Pull up bar. Yeah, they're just coming with all the expensive ones. This is what I'm looking for, but second hand. Let me see. Used pull-up bar. There you go. Simple as that. That's actually, oh, it's got no screws. But if you have a look at this one, my computer's been so loud right now because I'm screen recording. So there's your pull-up bar. That's what it's going to look like. It's a little bit big. You can get a lot smaller ones, but this one's only £10. So, you know, we're logging that down as £10. So right now I've got the resistance bands with multiple weights, and we've got a pull-up bar. Now, that's 30 quid. That leaves us with 20 quid to play with. Now, if yours add up to 20 quid, it could be anything between 20 and 30 quid for the resistance bands and the pull-up bar. But what you're going to buy next is going to determine what your goals are. So we're going to set out different goals for males and females. So the majority of females want to get a nicer bum. It's just how it is. Nicer bum and nicer abs. So for that reason, I'm going to search for some booty bands for a girl, which, there you go. You've got some resistance bands there, anything from £5 to £16. So I'm going to put that in for a tenner. And then you go, you've got, that would be a £40 spend. If you're male, I would advise some sort of step, gym step. Not 100% sure what you'd call it, like a box, you know, for a step class. There you go, these sorts of things here. So once again, you don't necessarily need this to be brand new. So I'm gonna scroll to where I can find it used. There we go. This is the type of thing I'm talking about. Just a standard step. I have no idea why these guys are selling things. They're obviously taking full advantage of the pandemic and trying to make some money. But you've got your standard steps. You can get secondhand. Might even be better off on Amazon, to be fair. But there you go. That's 12 quid. If you call that 15 quid, call it a tenner, whatever. You're talking £40 either way, male and female. And if you get these items that I've just said, all for the same price as me, you can actually get them all, whether you're male or female, because you've got 20 for your bands, you've got 10 for your resistance bands, that's 30, and then you can get a boot band and you can get a step. So all of those things, 50 quid, that's the first budget done. You've got resistance bands, pull-up bar, a boot band and a step. So you can do multiple things with those. And like I said, you can check out my videos on what you can and can't do with resistance bands. Now we'll move straight on to the next budget, which I've said a couple of things in my intro. It's going to be £250 this budget. And I'm going to see what I can get. Now, at this budget, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to buy enough that you're not going to be able to do resistance bands. Like home gym workouts, the ultimate goal is to always get to the point where you don't have to fucking use resistance bands, because they're annoying, they're a bit boring, but you've got to do what you've got to do. So number one here, we're going to go straight in with the same bands from number one, which was £20. So that's £20 out of our 250, that's 230 left to spend. Now at this point, I would try and invest in some sort of dumbbells. We'll see what eBay is saying. And then I've got a website that's pretty good for it as well. So Hex dumbbells, these dumbbells here tend to be the cheapest type of dumbbell that you can purchase. Now, if we select the weight, they've only got, see, they're out of stock everywhere else. But even the 5 kilos, how much are the 5 kilos? 43 quid. I think that's a bit overpriced for 5 kilo dumbbells, to be fair. So if you go to musclesquad.com.uk, musclesquad.com, and you'll be able to purchase some of the good stuff. So you can buy all sorts on here, but for now we're going to search dumbbell, and we're going to find a type of dumbbell that we like the look of. Okay, so here's the Hex. So 2 lots of 5 kilos. These are brand new, by the way. The eBay ones, it's a little bit sketchy on eBay sometimes, isn't it? But for this purpose only, I'm gonna have to sort of get the weights that are gonna cover as many exercises as a whole as possible. So there's no point me buying, like I can chest press 40 kilos, 50 kilos, but there's no point me buying that because that's only my chest press and maybe a dumbbell row that I can do it for. Whereas if I sit here and I buy a pair of 20 kilo dumbbells, I'll be able to do pretty much every type of press movement possible. I can do a chest press, I can do some overhead presses, some shoulder presses, I can even do a French press to make things a little bit hard. I can do single arm work, I can do some sort of rows, and I probably wouldn't get away with any arm movements with those. I wouldn't be able to bicep curl 2 20 kilo dumbbells inside, but that's what I can use bands for. So we've got a pair of dumbbells. These are actually sold out right now, which is highly likely. So I'm not going to try and source them elsewhere, but you will be able to find this type of dumbbell. So that would be £110. Where are we? Dumbbells, 110 for a pair of 20 kilo dumbbells. So we've got the dumbbells and we've got the bands. That is 130. That leaves us with 120 left to spend, which is wicked. Now at this point, I'd try and invest in some sort of flat bench, to do your pressing movements on. You'll be able to do some seated movements, you'll be able to do some laying movements, you'll be able to do some ab work, you'll be able to have like your back leg hanging off for some split squats, flat gym bench on Amazon. See what we pick up. Now these are not flat benches, they always try and flog you the most expensive at the start. Don't really like the price of these, I'm not going to lie to you. That one's 90 quid, 99. It's looking like the prices are a little bit heavier than what I'd normally want to pay, but that's just where we're at for a flat bench at the moment. I think it's looking like £90. Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, this one's fine. It's £50. I would happily use that on a 250 budget, to be honest. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'll take that. So that's £50. I think I found a bargain there. That'll be sold out before you know it. So we'll call that 50 quid. So we've got 50 and 20, that's 70, plus 110, so that's 180. So that leaves us with another £70 to spend, which is pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another 20 onto that to round it up to 200, because that is gonna take into consideration the discrepancies between prices that I'm gonna find, prices that you're gonna find, and potential delivery costs as well. So we're up to 200. And now it becomes as simple as you've already got the bands from number one. I would also grab the pull-up bar from number one, and I would get either the step or the glute bands as well from the £50 budget. And you've upgraded with a pair of dumbbells, and you've upgraded with the flat bench to do multiple movements with. And if you've got money left over, you could look into maybe grabbing something a little bit different, like if you wanted to go on the higher end of the scale for, see, this depends on the experience of lifter you are, but if you're on the higher end of the scale with your presses, you might want to get, you know, a 30 kilo odd, I'd still say 40 is too heavy. 30 kilos, you can still work on a massive amount of movements with that, and then look at getting some 10 or less kilo dumbbells, depending on your experience, to do all your smaller arm work, like your tricep extensions, your bicep curls, your lat raises, your front raises, etc. So I'd look at spending that extra 50 quid, see if I can find some dumbbells for that price. So that is the £250 budget done. God, anyone would think I need coffee to speak to you guys. So now we've done the £50 budget, £250 budget, which in the grand scheme of things, those two numbers, for the majority of people, they're not a lot of money. I don't want to piss many people off with this video, but £250 is not a lot of money. I know plenty of people, should everything be open outside of Corona at the moment, will spend £250 per week on, per month on alcohol, drugs and shit food. So investing 250 quid really isn't the worst thing that you can do for your health and well-being. But we're going to get straight into the £500 budget. Now, when you get to the £500 budget, the instant thought on my head for what most people will go for is trying to get a squat rack or some sort of rack or frame to have multiple things in. But I just don't think you're there. You'll probably spend about £400, maybe even a whole £500 on the rack, depending on the quality of the rack. But then you're not going to get a good quality rack, and you're going to be very limited. If you buy a squat rack, it's for fucking squatting, but you're going to miss out on all the other things that we purchased in the other sections of this video. So I just don't think at this point it's plausible to get a squat rack. I think when you're sort of approaching the £1,000, maybe even a £1,500 investment, I think that's when it will start getting beneficial to get a squat rack and real bars, real plates and stuff like that, because you're not going to be able to get a squat rack and load it with your shitty, small, skinny, flimsy bars because they don't fit. So you're going to have to invest in an Olympic bar and the plates as well. You're not going to have enough money for it. So we're not going to go with a squat rack. The first thing I would try and upgrade on though is, instead of having a flat bench, which obviously limits you, I don't want to do that, is I would go for an adjustable gym bench. Now, once again, I'm not 100% sure if Amazon is the best place for it, but it's looking like some of these are pretty good. So that's pure incline. But you've got fair few with the feet holders. I like the look of that one there. It's a pretty decent price. So is this one. Interesting. This just, to me, looks a lot more like what you may find in a gym. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. You've got your incline, you've got your decline. So this is going to broaden your exercise selection a hell of a lot to some movements that require the bench to be upright, and flat movements. You can even add a decline in there because you've got the foot handles to prevent you from slipping down off the back of the bench. So you've got everything that you could have done in the first section, and you've upgraded it to potentially double the amount of exercises. So first thing I would go for is an adjustable bench, which is coming out as a price with free delivery, 92. So I'm going to call that, I'll give you 100 quid there, £100 to sort of give way for any discrepancies. Now at this point I would get 2 pairs of dumbbells. I would go for a heavier pair and a lighter pair, like what we suggested in the last video, but you've got a much better budget for it now. Now, I'm going to do this video on me. Obviously, the kilos that you're going to buy is going to be in relation to your own lifting. You don't have to get what I get, but I would like some sort of diversity. So I'd go with a pair of 35 kilo dumbbells myself. I'm going to call that 190. Where are we going? Where are we going to write this down? 190. And then you've got a pair of smaller dumbbells. I would get probably a 12.5 kilos myself. Bear in mind, this is going to be more expensive for me than it is for you, because there's not many of you guys that watch my videos that will be able to lift the same amount of weights that I am, and it goes on pound per kilogram. So the lighter your weights, the cheaper they are. I've got 70 quid for that, so that's 160 just for 2 different pairs of dumbbells. The adjustable bench is 100 quid, 260, sorry. So that makes it £360 for those 3 items. That makes it £140 left to spend. At this point, rather than going for the pull-up bar that attaches to the door, I would probably look for a pull-up rack or pull-up station if the budget allows for it. Not too sure if we're going to find anything for a good price at this stage. There we go. So that's a good deal. Obviously, try and shop around for some good deals, as long as they look sturdy enough. There's such variety in prices at the moment with what's going on. Like, all of these are coming up at like 170 quid, 200 quid, and this one's coming in, what, 115, we'll call it 120. And it's the exact same style of pull-up bar that is everywhere else. So you can see, if I click on this photo, you've got there for your pull-ups. You can even attach some of the bands we mentioned earlier to this area here to help you get assisted pull-ups. There's your dip station. You can do the exact same thing there. You can do, what's it called, the captain's chair, where you do the shoulder, elbow elevated, where your leg raises come up, which is also incorporating abs into your workout. You've got your little steps there to help you get up, and you can use that top part, like we said, to do any sort of pull down movements. You could even, on the handles, if you've got some sort of broom or barbell, put a broom or barbell along those handles, be inside the chair, face towards it, hold on to it, and perform some sort of rowing movement that you'd want to do on a TRX normally, or a fixed bar. So there's another movement that you can just add in. So we're going to put this down for 120 And we can't even forget that this is our only station at the moment where we can do a solid amount of tricep dips, and you can add a band for assisted again. So we've got 100 plus 190 is 290 plus 70 360 plus 120 is 480, so that leaves you with 20 quid. And because I've already got a pull-up station with this 20 quid, I would spend that last £20 on the bands that we mentioned in budget number 1. So that's it, guys. It's very simple to get this sort of set up, and individually it doesn't look like a lot of stuff. Now, the two biggest variables that are going to affect decision making after you watch this video are going to be budget and space. So if you've got a garage that's just not getting used, you've got plenty of junk, now is the time to get rid of all that junk and create space. If you've got a spare room in your house, you're absolutely laughing. And I'm not going to go into detail in this video on your £1,000, £1,500 budget, because I just think it's such a selective audience of people right now that are willing to spend that amount, and I wouldn't imagine the majority of my followers that are going to want to spend that amount as well. So there you have it, guys. £50, £250 and £500 budget gym setups. I genuinely hope that some of you invest into this, because the amount of people that have been buying stuff and feeling so much better with what's going on at the moment because they're doing something at home and they're not getting bored after a week of trying to do a 5k run, and they get bored and then they try it again the next week and they just end up yo-yoing, feeling like shit because they're not accomplishing anything. At least go and get your £50 set up. Go over to my Instagram and find the link. You know, I've not mentioned it in the video. There's 2 links that you can go and see. One is resistance band tutorials. I think there's over 40 videos in that playlist. And then there's a dumbbell and barbell tutorial, and both of them are split into sections for upper body and lower body so that you can easily find what you're looking for. Also in that playlist is about 40 videos. So in total, you're talking best part of 80 videos as a tutorial, guys. I'm actually giving you for free to coming over to my YouTube channel. So that is not a bad deal before you already get started. So before I keep rambling on, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to make this video very short. It's not been too much about me this time, hey ho. But in the next video, I will cover a few more topics on my training and my thoughts around how you grow muscle and how you reduce your body fat, or how you can combine the two to do this, both of them at the same time. It is possible. It's just not the most ideal way to do things. Thanks for coming to the video, guys. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I massively appreciate you. And if you feel like someone needs to watch this video to benefit from it so that they can see what they can do at home, even on a minuscule budget, please either tag them or share this video to them. It will massively help my channel grow, and it will help out your friend to becoming a better, healthy person. So thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.
Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come.